Hello everyone, this is Globku from Magical Noob, and this is the achievement overview for Bioshock Infinite. We're gonna be covering all 50 achievements. And I just wanna say right up front, there are gonna be spoilers, and this is a very dense game on story. It's very story driven. If you haven't played it, you're gonna be mad at me for spoiling stuff. Now, as I'm showing you the achievements, you can click them, there's annotations, and those annotations will skip the video to the achievement that you want. Why do I always start at the beginning? So we're going to start with story achievements, moving on to some difficulty-based achievements, then collectibles. Then we're gonna talk about non-collectibles, which is stuff that you have to collect, but they are not really collectibles.
But they are.
But they aren't.
But they weren't.
But they will be?
Perhaps not.
Then we'll talk a bit about some weapons achievements, pretty much kill enemies with a certain weapon, X kills with a certain weapon. And finally we got a lot of ways to kill enemies. We've got ways to kill enemies using vigors and tears. We got ways to kill enemies with weapons on the skyline, and different enemy types as well. And that's all the achievements. Let's do it, guys! By completing the story, you will get 9 achievements, so that's 9 that you really don't have to worry about, you just have to play the game. Depending on the difficulty that you play, you can get 1, 2, 3, or 4 other achievements as you finish it. If you complete the game in 1999 difficulty mode, without purchasing anything from a dollar bill vending machine, you'll also get Scavenger Hunt. Dollar bill machines are the ones that say dollar bill. The other ones are okay, you can spend money on the others. Just don't spend your money on any dollar bill machine. And this is probably the hardest achievement in the game. To unlock the 1999 mode, usually you'd have to finish the game in any difficulty. But instead of that, you can use the Konami code in the main menu. It's been a while since we've done that. So here's a reminder of what the Konami code is. Up, up, down, down, left, right, cancel, confirm. On the PC, cancel, confirm is escape and enter. On the 360, it's B and A. And on the PS3, it's circle and X. You can do that from the start. That's the first achievement I got. Let's move on to collectibles. You don't really need to worry about raising the bar if you're going for infused with greatness. The way you boost your attributes is by finding the infusions, and if you find all of the infusions, you will have enough to fill 2 attributes and a half. So worry about finding all the infusions instead of raising the bar. Sightseer is to collect all telescopes and kinetoscopes. Not collect, but look at them. Whatever. An eavesdropper is to collect all voxophones. No need to hear them, just need to collect them. So here's an annotation to a playlist with all the collectibles, divided by chapter. So basically you'll have a video with all the collectibles in chapter 2, all the infusions, all the telescopes, all the kinetoscopes, and all the voxophones. Then another video on chapter 3 with all that stuff again, and so on until chapter 39. It is a very long game. Now, you can jump from chapter to chapter to do the eavesdropper and the sightseer, but the infusions have to be done in a single playthrough. So if you jump to a different chapter, the achievement is gone. So if you didn't get the infused with greatness on your first playthrough, you're gonna have to do a second one. But if you did get infused with greatness, but you didn't get sightseer and eavesdropper, you can jump from chapter to chapter and get all the remaining ones that you still need. Now let's go for the not collectibles, because it's stuff that you have to collect, but they're not really collectibles like the last thing.
I suppose you could still call them collectibles.
I suppose you wouldn't know the difference.
I beg your pardon?
Pardon accepted.
It doesn't work that way.
Coins in the cushion should be coming very naturally to you with any decent amount of exploration. You can loot trash cans, desks, chests, everything works except for corpses, I think, but I might be wrong on that. Reloading checkpoints also work if you finished the game and didn't get it. I mean, my recommendation would be do a second playthrough, but if you don't want to do that, you can always reload checkpoint on a location with lots of containers, and just keep doing it over and over again. For kited out, you need to upgrade 1 weapon at the armory machines and 1 vigor at the vigor machines. This is a money achievement, basically. If you want to get this quick, save your money for only 1 weapon upgrades and only 1 vigor. Each weapon has 4 upgrades and not all of them are available at the start, so you might have to progress on the story before unlocking them all. And same goes for vigors, but instead of 4 upgrades, the vigors only have 2. I went with the machine gun and the crows and I got the achievement pretty early on the game. Grand Largesse requires a bit more money, but you should get 10,000 till the end of the game without a problem as long as you're exploring and looting everything you see. You can spend the money however you want, however you will, and at the start of the game it might seem that you're not gonna have a lot of money, but towards the end you start getting a lot more. And Elizabeth finds money everywhere as well. So getting 10,000 shouldn't be an issue, and then after you get the 10,000 you just have to spend them. Don't be greedy, spend your money. The Roguish Type is also quite easy with some exploration. If you find yourself constantly low on lockpicks, don't open safes, because those require 5 lockpicks sometimes. And inside the safes you'll only find something like $200, so it's not a big deal if you skip them and save those lockpicks to locks that you actually need. There are loads of locks in this game, you don't even have to search that hard. Terra Manuan is also very easy to get. The Terra show up in any kind of combat environment, and there are no hidden tears really. But if you want to speed up this process, this achievement, you can clear an area of combat and then just go around and open the different tears. If you open the same one twice, it doesn't count as 2, so you can't like farm this achievement by opening the same tear over and over, but you can open them all after the combat is done. It's another easy one, really. Now let's talk about Dress for Success. Each time you find a piece of gear, it is randomized. There are many pieces of gear scattered throughout the world though, so you shouldn't have a problem with this achievement. If you do have 3 pieces and you're just missing 1, I've got a trick for you. If you find a piece of gear and it just drops a repeated item, let's say you already have a hat and another hat drops and you actually needed pants, you can restart the checkpoint and go loot it again, because since it's random, it will be a different piece of gear. And that's actually how I got my my achievement. It was an accident, but that's how I did it. You will be getting this achievement unless you are really unlucky or if you just skip through everything and don't loot anything, basically. For well-rounded, you need to find all 8 vigors and use them against enemies. Some of these vigors are missable. It's not like they're hidden or anything, but you might be a distracted guy, so here are the ones that are easier to miss. Starting with the charge. After opening the second tear that takes you to a place where you're the hero of the Vox, you'll be making your way back to Finkton proper, and you will find this vigor in a cage that was once locked but now isn't because the grid is blown up, and yeah, that's just where it is. Shortly after that you'll find a squid. You'll be coming out of an elevator in Fink's factory to a room, and directly in front of you behind the counter is the squid vigor. And the last vigor you collect is Return to Sender. Later when you're trying to find Comstock's house, Elizabeth will have this conversation.
If he were to take me back, that's death, Mr. DeWitt. Or something so like it I cannot tell the difference.
And after she picks that lock, you will find the vigor just laying on a box on that same corridor, right after the door. The other vigors should be even more obvious than these, but if you missed any, leave a comment and we'll try to help you out. Let's talk about some weapons achievements. All of these are pretty straightforward. Get X amount of kills with a certain weapon. My method for getting this was only picking up weapons that I don't already have the achievement for. The hardest one I would say is the machine gun, simply because it's the one that requires more kills. The Vox weapons won't be available for a while in the game, so it's not worth memorizing what Vox weapon corresponds to each normal weapon, and by the time the Vox weapons become available, you'll probably already have half of these achievements. So just memorize like the last name of each weapon, like pistol, machine gun, carbine, sniper rifle. Also, if you don't get all the achievements in a single playthrough, you can load chapter and get the remaining ones because they accumulate. They are not tied to any save. They always accumulate, even if you start a new game all over again. And we enter the final chapter on our achievement overview, which is ways to kill.
Will you kill people?
The question is, when will I have had killed people?
Not how, but when. Genius.
There are many ways to kill people. Let's start with vigors and tears. First of all, don't worry too much about Vigorous Opposition. This is one that will naturally pop as you kill everyone. For more for your money, lure 3 enemies into a vigor trap 5 times. You can either play normally until you get it and just keep using traps until the achievement pops, or once you find a group of 3 or more enemies that is unaware, throw the trap, reload checkpoint, and repeat until you get it. Well, repeat it 5 times really. But if you use traps constantly, it's not a hard achievement. Now I'll be covering Strange Bedfellows and Mind Over Matter at the same time because they're very similar. One requires kills using allies brought in through a tear, be it mosquitoes, turrets, or Tin Man, and the other by using your possession vigor on turrets and Tin Man as well. What happened to me most times is that the enemies would destroy my possessed targets before they were able to kill anyone, so you might want to assist in damaging those enemies so that your possessed allies can kill them more efficiently. They just have to give the killing blow. They don't have to like tag the enemy or anything. That's an MMO thing, not a single player thing. Once again, reloading checkpoints works just fine for this. Bon Voyage requires the squid vigor. Actually, you can do it with a horse figure, and once your enemies are floating, you can kind of push them out of the edge with bullets, and then just wait for them to fall, but that's not worth the effort now, is it? Wait until you get the squid figure, and then you can push everyone off the edge. A good place to farm this and many other achievements is on chapter 30, downtown Emporia. Throw them all off the edge and reload the checkpoint when the handyman shows up, cause he's too much trouble. And repeat until you get it. For hazard pay, you can find any oil leak and use the Devil's Vigor to ignite it, or any water on the ground and use the Shock Vigor to zap it. But I'll give you a nice place to farm this achievement. Right after you get the Shock Jockey, in chapter 11, Hall of Heroes gift shop, 2 guys will come running at you through the water. You just have to shock the water, restart checkpoint, and repeat until you get the achievement. And for combination shock, you need to perform all 8 vigor combinations. For this achievement, you need these 7 vigors. You don't need the last one. And you can do it anywhere, as long as there is at least one enemy. I'm using the same location as before, on chapter 30, downtown Emporia. The combinations are the following: possess a target and shock them, possess a target and throw fire at them, use the crows and use the fire, use the crows and use the shock, use the horse levitation thing and charge, use the horse levitation thing again and fire. I kind of missed that one, but then I hit him. Good. Pull a guy with your squid power. You have to hold the button to pull them. It's not a push thing. And then shock those guys. Their head explodes. It's a pretty funny combination, this one. And use the fire and charge. You will see that the guys explode if you charge right after you throw a fire grenade. That's kind of cool. Yeah. So as you can see, there's a lot of kills that have to do with vigors. So if you worry about all of those, Vigorous Opposition shouldn't even cross your mind. But that's also farmable with the restart checkpoint thingy. So we move on to ways to kill with weapons. Close to the start of the game, you learn how to do a skyhook's execution. When you see the skull over the enemy's head that appears when they're low on health, you hold the melee button and you do an execution. You have to do 20 of those throughout the whole game for industrial accident. Not a big deal, just remember that you have to do it. Skeet Shoot is not that natural. I tried using the horse levitation power to kill enemies as they're falling. That doesn't work, so I'd recommend you go into chapter 3, Raffle Square. There will be 3 guys dropping from skylines on this area. You can kill at least 2 of them while they're falling, and they die with 1 melee hit, so it's probably the easiest place to farm this. Restart checkpoint after they both fall. Whether you killed them or not doesn't matter. If you restart checkpoint, you start right before that area and you can try that again. And then just keep doing it until you get the achievement. It might require some practice, but trust me, it's not gonna get easier as you advance on the game. For Lost Weekend, you need to find any place with drinks and enemies. On Shantytown, there's a bar ahead of the place where the chapter begins, and there's a bunch of drinks right at the table on the entrance. There's also a bunch of enemies inside, so drink and kill. If you don't get the achievement on your first try, restart checkpoint and get the remaining ones, because it also accumulates. Doesn't matter. Most of the achievements do accumulate. Doesn't matter if you restart checkpoint, the kills that you did previously still count. That makes most of the achievements really easy on Bioshock. Let's move on to Skylines. There are 3 achievements that are obtainable that have to do with Skylines. 20 Skyline Strikes, it's very easy to get, but if you need to farm it, I'd go again to chapter 30, Downtown Emporia. Same goes for the next achievements. 30 kills while riding a skyline. Just shoot everyone while you're riding it. Try to use a weapon with some accuracy, but not too accurate. I like the machine gun on the skylines. Hopefully 5 of those kills will be headshots, so you might not want to use explosive weapons either, because if you do get 5 headshots, you'll get Bolt from the blue. If not, you keep trying, because you only need 5 headshots, it's not that much. Don't forget that you can slow down while riding the skyline. Going fast kinda makes it hard to do headshots, so just take it slow. And we reach the final category. I'm not sure if David and Goliath is even missable. Heavy hitter enemies are the Tin Man, the Fireman, the Handyman, anyone that's basically big. Unless you actively avoid and skip these guys, you'll get this achievement pretty naturally. So unless you are actively trying really hard to miss the achievement, you won't miss it, okay? I don't know why you would try hard to miss an achievement. Don't do that. And the last achievement we've got is Heartbreaker. You have to kill a handyman by only shooting his heart. The first time you encounter a handyman is on chapter 16, Worker Induction Center. You want to use the hand cannon or the sniper rifle, or both. You have to be patient, you have to dodge a lot, and only shoot when you have a clear shot of the heart. Dying is not a problem, you can die all you want. If the handyman dies and you don't get the achievement, restart the checkpoint and try again. Some patience might come into these achievements, a lot of dodging involved. The handymen are tough enemies, and yeah, they will beat you up pretty badly. But it is possible to get on any difficulty. Obviously, it's much easier to do it on easy because you take less damage and the handyman dies with less shots. But it is possible on any difficulty. There's no need to restart the game at a lower difficulty unless you are really having trouble with it. But yeah, that was our last achievement. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any trouble with any of the achievements that we covered, then leave us a comment and we'll help you as good as we can. If you like the video, a thumbs up is always appreciated, and subscribe for more videos like this. I've been Globku. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Goodbye.